Welcome back to Commentary. I am Ary, and we are playing Tailor Tales Gray CH15 Chapter 15 today. And as you might have noticed, I'm just gonna say it again, Tailor Tales is one of my favorite visual novels. At least like the roots that I read like for free, like the first ones, I've been there since the beginning, I guess. At least on Steam, right? But I'm not gonna cut it some slack. Like, I'm still gonna read it and I'm still enjoying it, but like, I'm not gonna cut it slack if it just fails, right? And like, damn, this MC in Gray CH15, oh my god, I really hope they edited. But I mean, they cannot edit that much, right? Like, they had to completely rewrite some parts. I don't think that would happen. Yeah, so looks dim, not gonna lie. But I mean, I'm still enjoying it. It's just a bit sad to see that it's now as, let's say, as weird, or like as, I don't want to say stupid, but like as other visual novels I've read would have like similar issues a lot of the time. But yeah, I didn't expect this on this game. But as a disclaimer, I also want to say this route was written by another author. The other ones are written by one author as far as I know, and for this one I know definitely that there was a second one hired for this route only. So that might be why. That would explain a lot. I have not said that before, but I knew it from the beginning. So I'm sorry if people were like, I don't know, like, don't think too bad about Tailor Tales. I think it will be getting better again after, like, on the next routes or something. I don't know. There's still 2 coming, so yeah. Anyway, enough talk. How about we start Gray Chapter 15 and cross our fingers, like fingers crossed that she will finally spill the beans. Like, how many chapters are left? Let's check before we go in. We are at 15. I mean, I hope, I really do. Ooh, 2 CGs behind. Oh, okay. One of them is probably the plus content, but whatever. I really hope that she will spill the beans soon. Like, come on, please be please this chapter. Please spill the beans on this chapter. Okay. Oh, so it's the academy play now, I guess. It's so weird being back here, Sarah says as we pace the corridors of our old school, Tina Academy. Old high school. The opening night of Romeo and Juliet. Nikki had promised to save Sarah and I a pair of tickets, encouraging us both to come along. I'm kind of getting used to it now, I say, but my first time coming here back was definitely weird. I think back on the day Gray and I had snuck into the school and my stomach turns unpleasantly. We still haven't spoken since the last time we were here, and I'm definitely feeling his absence. Taking in a deep breath, I force myself not to think about it. Tonight is all about supporting Nikki's work with the play. Something will happen at the play, right? Because like, if not, then the scene would have started after the play. Okay, so let's see. Maybe he will be there. He can be there, right? Gray can watch the play. Tonight is all about supporting Nikki's work with the play and seeing my costumes in action. The rest of the world can wait until tomorrow. The classroom we pass by are dark, and the lights are all turned off for early evening while everyone gathers in the auditorium for the play. Huh? We were so different back in school, don't you think? Sarah is still talking, her arm looped through mine. Speak for yourself. I like to think I've retained my youthful character, I tease her. She snorts out loudly, and the 2 of us giggle like the school kids we used to be as we reach the doors to the auditorium and claim our tickets. The place is packed when we enter, both students and parents chatting and finding their seats, all waiting excitedly for the show to start. Though the lights are dim, we find our places easily, up in the very front row. I'm just about to sit when a familiar voice calls over to us.
Ah!
Ary, you made it! Nikki greets us with a grin as he comes over. And Sarah, I hardly recognize you. Ditto. When did you get so tall, Sprout? Sarah greets him with a hug, and I hang back as they reunite excitedly. It's been a long time since they've seen each other.
Huh.
It's so good to see you all. Just wait until you see the costumes on stage. They look amazing. I can't wait. I squeeze my hands together excitedly, glancing towards the red curtains that are currently hiding the stage from sight. Have my garments held up okay during the rehearsals?
Huh.
Gives me a swift nod. They're perfect, no problems at all, and the kids love them. I smile to myself, happy to hear it. All my hard work is going to pay off tonight, and I'm ecstatic about it. I was just telling Ary how weird it is to be back here. How long has it been? About 10 years. Nikki's forehead creases in confusion. But it's not the first time you've been back, is it? Ary told me the two of you snuck in here a while back. I freeze for a moment, suddenly remembering that I had told Nikki that Sarah and I had broken in here, when in reality it was me and Gray. She gives me a long-sided glance before she laughs off the question with a wave of the hand. Of course we did, but we didn't get to see much. This time we were actually invited, she says, earning a laugh from Nikki and diverting his attention. I give her a grateful smile when he's not looking, and she winks discreetly. Well, the show will be starting soon, Nikki says with a wistful look towards the stage. He wrings his hands together nervously. I should head backstage and give the kids one last pep talk. I'll be right back. He smiles brightly before he hurries off, and Sarah and I sit, making ourselves comfortable for the surprising plush auditorium. Comfortable on the surprisingly plush auditorium chairs. Lying to one of your oldest friends, are you? Toot toot, Ary. Sarah leans closer and whispers. I give her a pointed look. I panicked. I didn't know what else to say. She grins and flips her hair dramatically. Lucky I'm so amazing at covering for you. Though I roll my eyes at her, I can't stop myself from smiling. Despite us teasing each other relentlessly, Sarah really is a good friend, and I appreciate her jumping in back there. I'm glad we came tonight. I was getting worried you were never going to leave your house again. Of course I was. I've just been busy, that's all. Busy with Gray. Busy avoiding him, more like it. Instead I say, no, busy with work. I have more clients walking into the boutique. It's been really good. I mean, I guess it's her personality that she just tells nobody anything. She's a really secretive person. But that also, like, if it torments her, that's a really bad trait to have. Right? Like, if you can't handle it, then don't do it. She smiles at that, nudging my shoulder with hers. That is good. I'm happy for you. I know how hard you've worked to build up the business. I don't get to say anything else before the shadow of the crowd suddenly hashes as the curtains pull back from the stage. Nikki comes back to take a seat with us right at as a single spotlight flicks on. An excited grin spreads across his face. Then a narrator begins her part and the show begins. Romeo and Juliet is certainly not an unfamiliar story to me, but it's fun to see the props and everything else in the Academy has come up with the reproduction for the and everything else the Academy has come up with for the production. As expected, they've really pulled out all the stops. It really looks like a professional production. My eyes widen when the first of the actors wearing my costume steps onto the stage. It looks just as I had imagined. Better, in fact. A wave of pride washes over me as I watch the show, fixated on my work and how it looks on stage against the props under the different lighting effects. The actors play their parts perfectly, ensnaring the attention of the audience through their performance. By the end of the show, my face hurts from smiling so much. I don't even mind the tragic ending. The actors and the performance to a round of applause. Sarah and I stand. I mean, that's actually a good Romeo and Juliet. Actually, that's appropriate here, because the play Romeo and Juliet is about two rival families, like rival gangs, that like had so much issue with each other that when people fell in love, they just killed each other and they've lost like one of their, or like two of their precious members, right? So like these gangs could learn something from Romeo and Juliet, right? Like they could just stop their fighting to let like Gray and main character and Ary, I guess, be happy together instead of killing each other, you know? Like that's exactly what these two families have to learn in Romeo and Juliet through sacrifice in the end. Like it's stupid sacrifice, like it could have been resolved by like a one-liner between the two leads, but whatever. Let's not talk about that now. The actors end the performance to a round of applause. Sarah and I stand with the rest of the crowd, clapping our hands together. That was amazing, I yelled to Nikki through the noise. He's smiling from ear to ear. I don't think I've ever seen him so happy before.
Huh.
I have to run backstage for a few minutes, but I will be back, he says with a grin. Don't leave before saying goodbye. Nikki darts off, and we smile after him. It's funny to see him so excited about something like a high school play, but it's also really sweet. Nikki, a teacher, who would have thought? And a drama teacher at that. If you had told me in high school that his passion was theater, I never had believed you. I giggle too, shaking my head in disbelief. I know, right? I'm still having trouble adjusting to the thought. I was such a rascal back then. When the auditorium lights come back on, we pile out into the school hallway with the rest of the audience to wait for Nikki. While we wait, we point over the faculty we look over the faculty portraits that are hung on the walls, pointing out the familiar faces and laughing at old memories.
Oh.
Oh look, our science teacher is still here, remember her? Sarah looks up, holds her finger up to the glass and wrinkles her nose. Yeah, she was awful, I say with a look over her shoulder, and find a familiar, pinched face staring back at me from the frame. Poor kids. I look at the pictures further down the wall as I trail along, finding a few glass photos that look familiar. Sarah, check this one out. Holding a finger up to the glass, I point out two figures in the front of the picture.
Oh!
It's us! Sarah squeals, nudging me aside when trying to get a better look. I mean, these were the pictures that Gray looked at, right, in school. Oh my god, look at my hair. I can't believe you let me leave the house looking like that. I laughed lightly. I think the purple looks great. Maybe you could bring the style back. I'd love to see the look on Jed's face if I did.
Ah!
Ary, over there. Over here, sorry. I turn at the sound of Nikki's voice, finishing him standing with a few other people near the auditorium doors.
Huh.
I've been looking for you. Oh no, here's him with the gang. Right? I want you to meet a few people. These are some of the parents from the school parents association. Oh, wait. I give a small nod. I'm so suspicious of you now. I give a small nod and greeting, and they all smile at me while Nikki speaks. They were asking me who designed the costumes on stage, and didn't want to pass up on meeting the designer herself. That's right, says the well-dressed woman. And you did a fantastic job on the costumes. Congratulations. The annual production hasn't been that well dressed in years. Yes, extremely well, especially for your first time working on the show. I couldn't keep my eyes off all the outfits. They were so intricately detailed. A third woman gushes, and the rest of the group all pitch in to give their compliments. I can do a lot more than sew a few costumes. I don't know. Just that's weird. Both are weird. I don't want to like humble myself because I am trying to advertise myself, right? But if it's not anything special, then like they don't have to come to me. Oh shit! I didn't want to do that. Whoopsie. Yeah, let's not pick that one. But this one is also weird to say. I can do a lot of more than whatever. I can do a lot more than sew a few costumes. I smile, seizing the moment to promote myself. I'd be lying if I said I didn't enjoy the attention. Oh, now I'm intrigued. What else do you do? I design and create my own fashion line. I've only opened my boutique recently, but you're welcome to stop by and see what I have on display. You won't regret it. In that case, I'll bring my daughter. She needs a gown for the upcoming ball. And not like any of those department store dresses either. Something special. I'd be happy to design something original for her, I say, and the woman looks pleased. And what about for the boys? Do you do formal suits? I nod at her. Yes, absolutely. Great! I will bring my son this week too. He also needs an outfit for the ball. I hand out a few business cards with the promise of being able to take on appointments whenever they're ready. Even if I have to shuffle a few things around, it's worth it in order to snag these kinds of clients. When they say goodbye and head off, Nikki turns to me with a beaming smirk. See, I told you everyone would love your work.
Ah.
Yeah, that was a given. Beauty Beast is the best boutique in town. I'm so happy that everyone is interested in seeing more, I say with a smile of my own, and I'm excited to see how the boutique grows from here. I think I can safely say we'd love for you to work on the costumes for the production again next year. I know it's a whole year away, but with you becoming so popular, I might have to book in advance. I laugh softly, giving him a fond look. Thanks for the confidence boost, and thanks for inviting us tonight too. We should head off before it gets late. We say our goodbyes with the promise to all meet up together again soon, and Sarah and I leave the school. So when will Gray show up? Okay, that was kind of weird. Sorry about that. Tonight was fun, she grins as we stop on the corner where we'll part ways. I promise it won't be so long until before we hang out again. I promise, I say with a nod, waving her off. Get home safe. I turn and head into the other direction. Why do I feel like I will run into the hammer? Shoving my hands in the pockets of my coat as I walk. The night air is cool, and it feels light. But it's a nice change of form. Wait, again. I turn and head into the other direction, shoving my hands in the pockets of my coat as I walk. The night air is cool, but it's a nice change from the stuffiness in the auditorium. However, the closer I get to home, the more the thrill of the night fades and the mess of the rest of my life creeps in. Gray and I haven't said more than a few words to each other since the day outside of school, and when he helped me drop off the costumes to Nikki. I've wanted to stop him for a chat, or even message him, but every single time something stops me. I can't stop myself from thinking that he's been giving me the silent treatment on purpose. The only thing I don't know is why. Because he knows you've been keeping things from him. And that's not healthy, like, for a relationship, right? Approaching my building, I head around to the back door, knowing it will probably be unlocked since it's one of Gray's usual gaming nights. He's been having them more often lately, and while I don't mind him using his own space for what he wants, his silent presence doesn't make things any less awkward. I mean, maybe he's trying to give you more opportunities to come and talk to him. How about that? But you don't, so... Using my phone so lightly, maybe it's like... it could also be silent protest, like he did that once, right? He's like, well, I'm just gonna be here anyway, even if you don't like it. Like, you cannot just run from me. Like, you kind of can, but you kind of don't. Using my phone to light the way, I finally make it to the door, my fingers brushing over the handle. Hey, sweetheart. Of course. A familiar voice distracts me and I pull back, turning to find Ivan leaning against the back wall. He watches me through half-lidded eyes, dragging one of the ends of the cigarette. Where have you been? He asks casually. Out, I reply curtly, reaching for the door again and entering the hallway. He will follow. From the hallway, I can hear Gray's game night in full swing downstairs. The thought of him being so close makes my stomach clench tightly. The door doesn't close behind me, so I turn to see Ivan standing in the doorway, still watching me. What do you want? I ask, my mood quickly going south. That's not a very nice way to speak to an old friend. He grins, revealing his teeth. There's something about his smile that makes me pause. Ivan has always been a creep, but the way he's looking at me now is different. He's looking at me like a cat who strapped a little mouse under its paw. You know, I thought you looked familiar. He starts thinking again as he walks into the corridor, letting the door shut behind him. And then it came to me. The night of the fight, I was there. Remember, I heard the call you made. Kitsune. How does he know I'm Kitsune? Just saying. My skin crawled to the sound of my gang name, goosebumps rising to the surface of my skin. How the hell did he figure it out? It's not that hard, first of all. Second of all, this late into the game, I thought it would be like 10 chapters ago. This would happen. He will like try to coax me into a lot of things probably. What do you want? I ask him, but this time the meaning is different. Ivan snickers, knowing he's both figuratively and literally got me cornered. Heard you've been meeting with some of your old gang mates. That little fella from back in the day. What was his name? None of your business, I say impatiently, and he's not so little anymore. He lets out a low laugh as he finds the situation nothing short of amusing. Either way, it got me suspicious. Maybe you're thinking of getting the old gang back together. I shake my head. I'm not a part of that anymore. I've got a business to run now, a whole other life. I try to walk up the stairs, thoroughly done with this conversation, but then his next words stop me. Is that why you're spending so much time with our friend the Phantom? Or do you just feel guilty for what you did with him 10 years ago? To him 10 years ago. You don't know what you're talking about. I spill out, my red eyes narrowing at him. It's your fault the Phantom was expelled from school. Your fault that half his gang rejected him. You don't think I know that? I snap my hands, balling to fists at my sides instead. Ivan simply grins wider. I can tell that he's enjoying this. I've been thinking to myself, why would Gray want to come so close to the woman who destroyed all of that for him? Oh, I know what he's gonna say next. I swallow nervously around the lump in my throat, feeling my heart beating in my chest 1,000,000 times a minute. Because he doesn't know who you are, does he? Not truly. Ivan steps closer still, until there's barely a few inches of space between us, and when he stares down at me, his eyes going cold. Here's how it's going to go, Kitsune. You're going to stay the hell away from your old gang. I don't care if you think you're not reforming, but you will stay away anyway. Go to hell, Ivan. He laughs quietly, and there's something sinister about the sound. How about I head downstairs right now and tell your friend, Gray, who you are and what you did to him? Because that's what I'll do if you don't do as I say, sweetheart. You can be sure of that. I say nothing, my tongue sitting uselessly in my mouth, because what can I say? One wrong move and he'll surely spill everything to Gray. That's why you should have told him first, how about that? But I can't have that, I just can't. Ivan assesses me for a moment, his cold gaze melting at his lips up one side. On one side. If that all sounds so unappealing to you, you can always work with me. Bring your friends over to my gang. We'd be unstoppable, he says smoothly. You really think I'd consider that, after you just threatened me? His shoulders move up and down as he laughs quietly. I didn't think you would consider it anyway. I've seen the way you look at Gray, like a lovesick little puppy dog. It has nothing to do with you, leave me alone. Right? Alright, I'm gonna read it out again. It has nothing to do with you, leave me alone. I turn to leave, but Ivan is faster. He steps in front of me, blocking my path out to the stairs. I leave you alone, but only after I heard you say you won't go near your old gang of yours again. I've already told you I don't have any interest in joining any gang ever again. I spit out between my teeth. Ivan snickers, drawing himself up to his full height and towering over me before he steps to the side and lets me pass. I dart towards the stairs before he can block me again. Then I glare back at him, determined not to let him think he can get away with this unscathed. I remind you that this is my property, so I'd think twice about trying to threaten me if I was you. I'm sure your reputation with the police is strained enough as it is. He surprises me by laughing, a long, drawn-out sound, one that sends an unpleasant chill down my spine. You've always been fond of calling the cops, haven't you, sweetheart?
Ah.
Try it and see how far it gets you this time. I think they'll find a few surprises down in your basement if they look hard enough. I'm about to reply to question him about when footsteps. I'm about to reply to question him about that when footsteps on the stairs cut me off. Gray appears, his eyebrows dipped in the middle when he finds us standing alone together, engaged in a heated conversation. He looks taken aback, and I want to say something, to tell him about Ivan threatening me, when I know I can't. Ivan, you're up, he says simply, waiting for the other man to make a move. Ivan gives me a last look before he leaves and says quietly, "Remember what I said." I watch helplessly as he leaves, my heart still pounding incessantly. It looks as though the hammer is back in full force, and this time he's more of a threat than I ever thought. The next evening I stand— wait, Gray just thought nothing of it. Okay. I stand at the top of the stairs to the basement, my eyes firmly fixed on the door below. I can hear music playing, but no shadow. Gray is most likely down there alone. It's time for me to finally do something about the silence between us. Stealing my nerves, I head down the stairs and stand in front of the basement door. I knock on the wood. When I get no answer, I head ahead and push the door open and walk down the stairs. I spot Gray immediately, shuffling a pack of playing cards and setting it on a table in the middle of the room. He looks up as I enter, and something in his eyes turns hard. "Hey," I say tentatively, still hovering near the door. "Hi." He barely even spares me 3 seconds before he goes back to laying out cards and other various pieces on the table. I swallow down my doubt and step further into the room, right next to the table. "I wanted to talk to you about last night, when you saw me and Ivan," I start. "It's not what you think it is." "Why would I think it was anything?" he says tightly. "You seemed mad when you left. I thought it might be..." What do I think it might be? The reason he's being so unfriendly towards me now? No, I know he's still annoyed that I left him that night. Anyway, I just wanted to make sure that everything is okay between us. Okay, nothing is okay between you guys, but whatever. Also, I wanted to apologize for leaving without you that night. I confess. He stops this time, fixing me with those cold eyes. Just when I think I'm finally going to get an answer, he shakes his head and moves around the table. Yeah, he's like, I should give up on this girl. Enough is enough. I have to get everything ready for tonight. He brushes past me and gestures his arm towards the stairs. I turn back towards the stairs, but I don't leave. Instead, I face him head on, determined to get something out of him. I mean, how is this main character not wondering about what Ivan said? Like, either he would put up something to threaten me, or there's actually something here. Like, maybe they have drug deals or something. I don't know. I mean, I don't think it's drug deals, but maybe like an illegal casino or something, right? Anyway. I mean, he was not going to let me join if I asked, but I'm gonna pick this one again. I'm just gonna get the fierce ending, whatever. I'm not leaving until you talk to me, I say stubbornly, folding my arms over my chest for good measure. Talk to you? Why should I be so nice? Gray snaps back, his eyes suddenly fiery. I thought we were friends, I shoot back at him. His nostrils flare wide, his temper getting the better of him. Friends don't treat each other the way you've treated me, he growls, his words surprising me. Are you still mad about that night? I don't know, Ary. You tell me. He speaks through gritted teeth, and now I know I was right on the money. Yeah, because you never tell him about your identity. I said I was sorry. Those hot and cold games, why don't you say what you want to say? He says, his eyes flaring up. I press my mouth shut and look long and hard at the floor. He's got me there. But is it really the end of the world if I tell him? I clench my hands at my sides, steeling myself. No, he does deserve the truth at one point. Just leave, Ary, he said with a tired sigh. Please. He turns his back on me. Yeah, you've lost your chance. He is done with you. Or with me. Thanks. He turns his back on me and I've lost my courage to tell him. Feeling my heart rate spiking, I leave the basement without another word. Now I want to cry. It's not even my fault that this happened. Anyway, this was chapter 15. See you next time in chapter 16. I guess now she's finally ready to tell him, maybe? Now that she's been threatened with it. Great. But yeah, it still didn't happen. So, make your bets, gentlemen and gentle ladies. See you next time. Bye!